and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to AM News on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Now the news info. President Bola Tinubu has postponed his scheduled trip to South Africa for the G20 Leaders Summit as he awaits further security briefings from Vice President Kashim Shettima on the kidnapped Kebbi schoolgirls and the attack on Christ Apostolic Church worshippers in Eruku, Kwara State. A statement by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, on Wednesday said Tinubu also ordered the deployment of more security personnel to Eruku and the entire Ekiti local government area of the state and directed the police to go after the bandits who attacked worshippers. Tinubu intends to receive first-hand reports on the situation in Kebbi, including the outcome of the meetings with local leaders before embarking on his trip. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed Vice President Kashim Shettima to visit Kebbi State on Wednesday. Shettima will sympathize with the Kebbi State government and reassure parents and guardians of the kidnapped schoolgirls from Government School Comprehensive Secondary School that efforts are underway for their swift release. President Tinubu's special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, disclosed this in a statement. Chairman of the Board of Directors for the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Dr. Umar Abdullahi Ganduje, has called on the security operatives at the Lagos Airport or the stakeholders to provide the best service to travelers and eschew corruption to improve the image of the country. Ganduje stated this while feeding questions from journalists after facility tour of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, said there is the need for the major stakeholders at the airport to provide good customer service that will make the airport more functional. He called for zero tolerance of corruption at the airport so that passengers, both local and international, will not have a bad image on the country, adding that security services too should be of the high standards so that Nigeria will be proud of the personnel. He commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for providing the agency the support it needed to actualize the objectives of the administration in the aviation industry. Ganduje thanked FAAN specially for upgrading the facilities at the Lagos and Abuja airport for them to meet the international standard required for the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, certification. Over now to the federal government has enjoined the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors to suspend its ongoing industrial action, saying that 19 of its 20 listed demands have already been addressed. Minister of Labor and Employment, Dr. Mohammed Megeri Dayadi, made the plea in Abuja during a conciliation meeting with relevant stakeholders. The minister called on the association to respect the country's laws and suspend its industrial action, reminding it that by labor laws and ILO conventions, when issues are conciliated, all parties are enjoined not to employ arm-twisting methods to intimidate or force a state of hopelessness in other parties, in this case their employers, the Federal Ministry of Health. The Chief Executive of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, says securing the country from drugs and related crimes is now a shared national responsibility. Speaking at the 7th Security and Emergency Management Award in Abuja, Marwa says Nigeria's drug war is entering a tougher, more coordinated phase, and the fight cannot be won by the law enforcement alone. Kikelomo Okere has details.
In a firm message to security agencies, civil society and community leaders, Chief Executive Officer of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, highlighted the agency's renewed focus in its second tenure, such as aggressive interdiction, stronger border control, and expanded treatment and prevention programs. The NDLA boss reveals that within the year, the agency has made over 16,000 arrests, about 3,000 convictions, 4.5 kilograms of drugs seized, and more than 600 acres of cannabis farm destroyed.
It is also an opportunity to reflect on the evolving landscape of security and emergency management in Nigeria, and how our work at NDLEA strengthens national security and stability.
Executive Director, Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, Awal Musa Rafsanjani commended Marwa for what he described as transformative leadership, adding that NDLEA's daily interception and public awareness efforts are saving young Nigerians and strengthening national security.
There's no way you can also detach issues of drugs abuse with the issues of security in this country. And therefore, for me, this is a recognition to the people that have been making sacrifice in this country.
The ceremony also featured the unveiling of a youth-authored book on anti-drug and anti-smuggling efforts, as well as recognition of several security agencies across the country. The highlight of the evening was the presentation of Outstanding Personality of the Year to General Marwa. The NDLEA spokesman Femi Abafemi was also honored. Kike Lomo Ukeri, Global Television News.
Representing Enugu North Senatorial Zone, Barrister Oke Ezor, popularly known as Ideke, is dead. He reportedly passed away on Tuesday. It was gathered that he was in the United Kingdom receiving treatment prior to his demise. The loss of the Senator Okezie is a significant blow to the political landscape of Enugu State, and his contributions will be remembered by many. Senator Eze was the only remaining member of the Labour Party in the National Assembly from Enugu State, as other lawmakers from the state have defected to the All Progressive Congress, APC. Still on the news, the House of Representatives has expressed its determination to end the pension crisis that's kept retired police officers protesting at the National Assembly for nearly 2 months. This follows a motion by Oke Onokulosi, who told lawmakers that unlike the armed forces, customs and intelligence agencies, the police remain excluded from recent pension reforms, leaving retirees struggling under what he described as an inadequate contributory pension scheme. National Assembly correspondent Anete Patrick tells us more.
The House expressed concern that delayed payments, irregular stipends, and the loss of earned benefits have pushed many retired officers into severe hardship. A report recommending urgent interventions is expected within 4 weeks.
We cannot continue to demand loyalty, bravery, and sacrifice from our police officers while abandoning them at their time of retirement.
Because as it were now, a police officer who resigns after 35 years in service may as well be earning as low as 40,000 naira every month. Mr. Speaker, you will agree with me that this just cannot sustain anyone.
In another development, the House is probing an alleged unlawful operation by NDLEA officers in Ukpeju, Ihoha, Owan West, Edo State. House Leader Julius Ihovere moved the motion revealing that a raid on October 27 led to the death of a 16-year-old boy and left several residents with gunshot injuries. He said such actions erode public trust and violate human rights.
Further disturbed that if the allegations of misconduct are not properly investigated, it could damage our international reputation in the fight against drug trafficking and human rights protection.
Plenary was later adjourned to next Tuesday following the death of Senator Oke Ezia of Enugu North. From the National Assembly, Anete Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
You are watching the live broadcast of AM News. When AM News returns, Real Madrid Militao suffers groin injury. Details coming shortly, plus business and foreign stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, you're welcome to AM News on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In Business Now, the Renewed Hope Initiative has brought its outreach program to Imo State, targeting vulnerable households with essential food items. The distribution ceremony held at the Imo State Government House, Owerri, was attended by the wife of the Vice President, Hajia Nana Shettima, who represented the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. Our correspondent, Amarachi Ibe, reports.
Representing the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, the wife of the Vice President, Hajia Nana Shettima, said the food outreach will continue nationwide, focusing on widows, older citizens, persons with disabilities, and low-income households.
Successfully distributing food items to 20 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, making Imo State the 21st beneficiaries. By the grace of God, Taraba State will be next beneficiary of this growing initiative. Our goal as Renewed Hope Initiative is to complement the Renewed Hope agenda of the administration of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, which aims to support all Nigerians to strive and achieve their goals irrespective of their condition or status.
The wife of the Imo State Governor, Chioma Uzodinma, said the program is designed to ease the pressure on families struggling with the high cost of living. She stressed that the First Lady remains committed to providing relief for the most vulnerable.
Today's distribution has been carefully planned to reach widows, persons living with disabilities, the elderly, orphans, internally displaced persons, and other vulnerable groups in across our dear states. Each package represents more than food items. It represents our promise that you are seen, you are valued, and you are not forgotten.
Some beneficiaries described the gesture as timely and encouraging.
I'm very, very happy and I appreciate. May God bless you people in Jesus' name.
I'm full of happy for this kind gesture which the governor's wife and the Mr. President's wife made for us. May God give them long life, more wisdom in Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen.
The initiative is part of wider social investment programs under the Renewed Hope Initiative aimed at addressing hunger and strengthening community welfare across the country. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe reporting for Global TV News.
As prices of goods and services continue to decline across the country, traders at the popular Singa market in Kano are calling for government interventions to stabilize the market. They are advocating for the introduction of price control measures to protect their capital from the effect of daily price inflations. Global TV Idris Jibril visited the market and tells us more.
At Singa Market, located in the heart of Nigeria's commercial city of Kano, truckloads of food items arrive almost daily. The market remains one of the busiest in the region, thanks to the significant drop in the prices of goods and services. Traders attribute the price drop to recent federal government policies, which have allowed the duty-free importation of certain food items.
Actually, there is the federal government policy which relieves some duty-free importation of goods and services, most especially spaghetti. And if you go to Dawano International Grain Market, you will find out that the situation is still the same thing.
While this policy has made goods more affordable for consumers, it's creating a different kind of challenge for the traders. They say the consistent fall in prices is gradually eroding their capital, making it difficult to sustain their businesses. Unlike before, small-scale retailers no longer buy in bulk, as prices continue to fluctuate almost daily.
Actually, most of our clients or customers are skeptical even to buy huge stock and keep it because of that fear. If they buy after some days or after some times, the price may come down and they may lose money. So actually the market is a bit dull. So we are not making much sale, and the people are calm, and even the business people, they prefer to, keep their money and buy a little stock for them to maintain their market. However, but people are not comfortable to stock much goods in their shops, actually.
To strike a balance in the economy, the traders are urging the government to implement either minimum or maximum price control mechanism. This, they say, will help protect their investments and ensure business sustainability across the country.
Since there are so many regulatory agencies, those who are in charge of, the issue of pricing, the issue of, consumer protection. So I think there is need to intervene by introducing MRP, minimum retail price or maximum retail price. This will help the situation.
Despite the concern raised by traders, the ongoing price reduction have brought some relief for Nigerians, effectively easing the burden of high living cost. From Kano, Idris Jibrin, Global Television News.
On the foreign scene now, the United States and Saudi Arabia may be moving closer to the breakthrough on normalizing relations with Israel after President Donald Trump and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman hinted at progress during talks in Riyadh. Mukhtar Qasim has the details.
Prince said Saudi Arabia wants stronger ties across the Middle East and is open to joining the Abraham Accords, but only if a clear path to a two-state solution is secured. He described his discussion with Trump as healthy, emphasizing that Riyadh still expects movement towards a Palestinian state before finalizing any agreement. Trump also said the two leaders held good talks about potential frameworks, including both one-state and two-state solutions.
Today and tomorrow we're going to announce that we are going to increase that $600 billion to almost $1 trillion of investment, real investment and real opportunity by details in many areas. And the agreement that we are signing today in many areas in technology, in AI, in earth materials, magnet, etc., that will create a lot of investment opportunities.
Trump later defended the Crown Prince when asked about the 2018 murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, insisting that the Saudi leader knew nothing about it and argued that Washington must maintain strong ties with Riyadh despite lingering controversy.
As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
With both leaders signaling willingness to continue negotiations, attention now shifts to whether the condition for a two-state solution and regional political realities can sustain the momentum towards a historic Saudi-Israel agreement. Mukhtar Qasim, reporting for Global Television News.
The United Nations says Sudan is facing one of the world's worst humanitarian crises, with nearly two-thirds of the country now requiring urgent assistance as fighting between the army and the Rapid Support Forces continues. Again, Mukhtar Qasim reports.
The war, now in its second year, has displaced millions and pushed communities towards famine. United Nations Under-Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs and Emergency Relief Coordinator Tom Fletcher says funding for aid operations is dangerously low, even as hunger, mass displacement and right abuses rise sharply. He warned that children are suffering the most, with soaring malnutrition and increasing casualties in areas cut off by fighting.
Nearly 2 in every 3 people in Sudan needs aid right now. 11 months into the year, we're at 32% funded of the 4 billion that we need for 2025. And again, as I've described to you after previous visits, I'm seeing the impact, the huge impact, the brutal life and death choices we're making as a result of aid cuts. And just a reminder that all we're asking for to save 114 million lives is 1% of what the world is currently spending on arms and defense.
Spokesman of the United Nations Secretary General Stephen Dujarric noted that the continued flow of weapons into Sudan is fueling the violence, adding that conflict-driven famine has been confirmed by multiple sources multiple times this year, a rare and alarming development.
The last thing Sudan needs now is more flow of arms, more flow of weapons, more flow of drones. We're seeing horrific violations of human rights, horrific violations of international law.
The United Nations is calling for stronger international pressure and immediate funding, warning that without urgent action, Sudan's crisis will deepen and more civilian lives will be lost. Mukhtar Kasim, reporting for Global Television News.
In our sports desk now, Real Madrid Brazil defender Eder Militao has suffered a groin injury. The Spanish Giants confirmed on Wednesday without specifying how long it will be sidelined. Following tests carried out by Real Madrid's medical team, Eder Militao has been diagnosed with a muscle injury to his groin, the club said in a statement. Now that's it on Global TV AM News. Here is a recap of our top stories again. Brought to you that President Bola Tinubu has directed Vice President Kashim Shettima to visit Kebbi State. In business, the Renewed Hope Initiative has brought its outreach program to Imo State, targeting vulnerable households with essential food items. And on the foreign scene, United Nations says Sudan is facing one of the world's worst humanitarian crises, with nearly two-thirds of the country now requiring urgent assistance as fighting between the army and the rapid support forces continues. And finally, in sports, we brought to you that Real Madrid Brazil defender Eder Militao has suffered a groin injury. The Spanish Giants confirmed on Wednesday without specifying how long he will be sidelined. That's it on Global TV AM News. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @Global TV NG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. Good morning.